Part of what is so difficult about being a long hauler is that whether it's by insurance companies or employers or doctors, too often your symptoms are dismissed. You look okay. You sound okay. Oh, you can write really well still. You must be fine. I'm not fine. And there's so many people like me who aren't okay.
You feel like the body aches, you feel the headaches, you feel just very tired, fatigued. All you want to do is sleep and you have no energy. It's like the energy's been like sucked out of you.
It's not like something happens all at once. It started with stomach issues and it's led to a lot of nerve issues. It almost feels like there's a vibration inside of you and it starts at the core and it hurts your bones, to your muscles, to your skin, and it just kind of just vibrates out and kind of affects your whole body.
My prior employment, I was a server, so that's a physically demanding job. I was running around table to table, hours working, 4 to midnight, but I can't do that now. For a while, I just was trying to get through like the days and the first weeks. By the time it was Christmas, I was, like, okay, I'm still very tired, I'm still very fatigued. I guess the only difference was I got my taste and my smell back, but everything else kind of just stayed.
Back towards the end of April or early May 2020, I started to have symptoms like blurring vision, difficulty breathing, tightness in my chest. Eventually, after a lot of doctors, a lot of tests, I was diagnosed as having had, in all likelihood, COVID, and I have post-acute COVID syndrome. One of my biggest symptoms is my blood pressure's all over the place, sometimes low, sometimes high, sometimes really dangerously high. So I have to check it pretty frequently. I was let go from my position in September of 2020. I was on pandemic unemployment, but that ran out. And I was getting COBRA subsidized by the federal government for 6 months under the American Rescue Plan. That too ran out. Now my income is zero. My wife and I are trying to survive on her SSDI. She has chronic illnesses.
I tried everything that I could to save my business. I tried a health regimen, going to the doctors, figuring out what's going on, resting when I can. I went from not taking new clients to just taking reoccurring clients, and I couldn't even do that. So not being able to work has been obviously a tremendous burden. I've had to downsize everything in my life. I'm not able to pay my bills on time, so that obviously is always very stressful. The unknown is just, it's paralyzing.
I do want to work. I do want to go to school and finish. I do want to provide for my family. I do want to attain my goals. But right now it's on hold for the moment. I gotta sit down for a second. I can't imagine, like, if I can barely get through my day at home, if I can barely function with my housework or basic chores, how am I going to be able to work and hold down a job and they're not going to look at me like, hey, we can get someone that won't need all these accommodations?
I'm closing in on 19 months with these symptoms. And while some things are maybe stabilizing, it's hard to see the overall improvement. that I need to be able to get back to work, which I really want to do. I love my job.
It's really hard for people to identify with someone who has an invisible illness. Whenever you turn on the TENS unit, it just like sends these vibrations up your legs. So the pains that I'm feeling, like they go from like a 70 to like a 20. So it makes it more tolerable to be up and like walking around. A lot of people look at me and see my age or my lifestyle, and they just don't understand why I can't go to work. They don't understand why I only have a couple of days of good health, and it hurts because I sit in my house and I'm in pain, and I can't remember things, and I can't sweep my floor without taking a break or do my dishes without taking a break.
I'm really glad that there are studies being done on long haulers. I'm glad they're trying to collect data, and I'm glad that they're trying to figure this all out. And that's important, but that's for years down the line. Meanwhile, we're really struggling financially, emotionally, any measure you care to put in. We're struggling and we need help, and especially financially.